What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Monday Market Update. We're going to be taking a look at the overall markets. What's up? What's down? We're going to be looking at some charts, but we're going to be putting a lot of focus on Hive today because it is Hive week here on CoinLogic. We've got some cool interviews. We got a Twitter Spaces this week, so we got a lot of stuff going on. But we're also going to be taking a look at the macro outlook as well, as always on Mondays, brought to you by Comdex.one. They are decentralizing finance for all, basically bringing synthetic assets to the blockchain, and then also partnered up with our friends at Infinity Carbon Zero because they do give that delegation to our nodes over there, which supports our channel here. So thank you for that. But we're going to be talking about all that kind of stuff and more on today's show, so stay tuned, guys. All right, everybody, welcome back to CoinLogic TV, where we are looking logically at crypto assets. I am your host, the Logical Dude, your favorite van life living, crypto investing digital nomad. I hope you guys are having a great Monday, and thank you for spending a little bit of your time with me. It is March the 28th, 2022. We're almost into April. We're almost out of quarter one. We got big things coming in quarter two. It's crazy the way things are moving. We've got a lot of stuff going on. We got some interviews going this week. Like I said, it is Hive week here. We're going to be looking at the Hive charts, going to be taking kind of an overall look at the Hive blockchain, what it's all about. But we've got an interview Wednesday with John Olson from the CTP community on Hive, as well as the new List Nerds project, which is basically revolutionizing email marketing on the blockchain. So we're going to be talking to him on Wednesday, and then Friday we have a Twitter Spaces, so make sure and go and follow CoinLogic Online on Twitter, and we're going to be, and come and join our Twitter Spaces Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific time in the U.S., as I'm on the west coast of the U.S., so we're going to be having this meetup with 3speak.tv, who, as always, I always launch up our videos on 3speak.tv where we can freely create content, free speech, not worry about censorship, and you own your data. So come and check us out. And that's also built on the Hive blockchain. So yeah, that's what we got going on this week. Got a lot going. So let's get right on into this Monday market update here. And we're going to be taking a look at some really nice green markets just over the last 24 hours. Bitcoin is up 6% at 47,743 currently time of recording this, but it's been bouncing up and down. We're going to be taking a look at some charts because we're getting into some overheated territory, so we're going to be looking at that in a minute. But you can see here the CoinLogic index is absolutely looking beautiful today. Really looking at some of these tokens like PancakeSwap that's taken a nice bounce after having some big drops recently. Juno's the same way. A lot of community stuff going on with that. We're actually going to be, we still have it listed here, but I'm actually pulling out of the Juno stake that we've got. We're going to be moving it into Osmosis and some other areas, to where I feel like, the funds would be a better use at this point. And then, going to be really taking a look at Hive today. So we're going to be looking at that in just a moment. Comdex, our friends over there, we're sitting at $1.44. It is up over the 5% over the last 24 hours. And then our newest addition, Emanate, they are on the EOS blockchain. They are partnered up with our Blocktunes DAO that I'm currently building, where we are revolutionizing the music industry and working together with them on some distribution and that kind of thing. So you can see here, though, that the CoinLogic index is looking quite lovely, as well as the rest of the markets. I mean, what is this power cash? This thing is up, screaming 231% today. Like, that's insane. We've got waves going on today at 21% gains. We got Shiba Inu up. We've got EOS up. We've got Loopring, Filecoin, Juno, Gala, Graph, and Terra Luna rounding out those top 10 gainers of the top 100. And then as far as the losers of the top 100, it's only Zilliqa and VeChain. Zilliqa's down 4.3%, VeChain's down 1.5%, and then it's just stable coins. That's it. So when you see that happening, you know the rest of the market's having a really good day. So you might, if you are playing the markets, you might be looking to take some profits. I know we're looking at taking some profits in a couple of places here because it's just been a nice little pump up. But also looking at buying more because we know that actually looking for corrections to possibly buy some more here in the future, and I'll show you all about that in just a moment. But the top 10 by market cap, we've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, Binance Coin, USDC Coin, XRP, Cardano, Solana, Terra, and Avalanche rounding out the top 10. And then by volume, we've got Tether, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance Dollar, USDC Coin, XRP, Shiba Inu, Solana, Terra, and Cardano. And that's Terra Luna. Binance Dollar has got a lot of volume coming into it. They've got an IPO they're getting ready to launch. There's an article in the news center, I believe. Let's see. Let's go take a look at that real quick. Just a little sidetrack. Yeah. From our friends over at Our Bitcoin News. Going to be taking a separate look at that in a little bit. But yeah, Binance getting ready to do an IPO. They're getting ready to go public. All right, so then our fear and greed index is at a 60 right now. People all of a sudden flip to a little bit more of the greedy area, so they're wanting more and more and more. So when people are getting greedy, that's when you need to start kind of looking for, looking for times to be slightly fearful, maybe at least a little conservative with your bets here. So, play it smart, have some balance, You can have you a little bag that you can, I like to have a little bag that I call my DGen bag, the ones that I'm like YOLOing on kind of thing. But like the prime amount of the investment is fairly conservative, like a little bit of risk aversion, but still having enough risk to where I'm, making some good money. So let's go and take a look at Bitcoin right now. Rolling up at 48,000 as we're talking. Just absolutely not stopping right now. But if we come over here to our indicators and we go and turn on our RSI, it's going to pull up the RSI and the 14-day moving average. You can see we're moving up into this like overbought territory. So we've crossed over that 70 plane. So it's still pumping, and it can still pump. It can get higher. It can go as high as 80 or more before it really starts to pull back. But at that point, we're going to be wanting to look for pullbacks down to back around maybe finding that 46, 47,000 range. So if we come over here and we take the Fibonacci and we pull that guy up where we're currently at, yeah, so if we do end up deciding to pull back from here, you're going to be looking for a bounce around this 45,000 mark. It could go lower. I don't think it, hopefully we can find some good support and strength around this level here. Because if you take a look at this, let's go and draw us a little rectangle here. And see, you can do all this right here on CoinLogic now, which is really, really awesome. Let's draw this box. You can see it's just, everything's in the zone. There's not really exact levels. So it can really kind of bounce anywhere in this zone here. But I would like to see it continue to break and go out and actually find the top of this box as support is what I would like to see. I would like to see it break out and then keep going. So let's move this and let me come over here, get my brush. I want to see it jump, bounce back, and then go this way. That's what I would like to see. It could find resistance, come back down here, chop around in the channel, and then break out. It could absolutely do that. Hopefully we can keep the bullish momentum going and it doesn't go break down below. But I would be okay with seeing it chop around in this channel for a bit and then breaking out. Because if we get a solid breakout from here, it would take a lot of volume to push it, but then it's getting really overheated. So you would definitely be looking for a pullback. I would actually like to see a little bit of a pullback from here and then launch up and out. It would just build, to me, it would build a little bit better market structure in this area here. So it would build some more support structure for it to be able to come back and bounce off on and keep going up later on. So that's the way I'm kind of looking at it here. And that is what we're looking at as far as Bitcoin is concerned. But we're coming over here and we're taking a look at Hive, and we're seeing how Hive is pumping up right now too. So currently, at the time of this recording, Hive is pumped up to $1.16. So we are actually looking at the same kind of situation as Bitcoin. So if we come back over here and we're going to draw our little rectangle here, kind of a little zone range that we've got going on. I got to let go of that. You got to double click. There you go. All right. Got to let go of it. So we're in this little zone. So if we pop back up here to about $1.25 and find resistance, that could be a healthy way to find some market range here. And it would also create like a little bit of a flag if we could do that. So let's come back over here and grab my brush. And we're going to have it pop back up, kind of what I'm thinking may happen. And then break through and then come back, That would be the ultimate scenario. That would give the RSI room to kind of cool off, come back into bullish neutral territory, and then launch. This yellow 14-day moving average, that would give it time to kind of, build some market structure, build some solid momentum, and keep moving up. And I would love to see Hive pump back up to $1.50 or more and then find that support and keep going. So we're looking at some bullish times here, boys and girls. You can see that these rounded bottoms that we've got going on here, you can see the same thing we've got going here on Hive as we do here on Bitcoin. Same kind of rounded bottom. Bitcoin actually has a nice solid uptrend going. Hive has got an uptrend. Definitely a pretty profound little uptrend going here. Let's actually turn that white and make it a little thicker here so we can see what we got going on here. So you can see what Hive's doing here. It's been building this solid little uptrend, but Bitcoin's got like this pretty staunch little uptrend going here for a while. A little bit steeper of an angle, I suppose. Whether that makes any difference or not, remains to be seen. Bitcoin's dominance level is sitting at around a 42%. So it's holding pretty strong dominance level of the markets. You got a bunch of different blockchains that are, getting money pushed into it at this point, but Bitcoin is still kind of that gold standard of crypto. And it's solid. It's one of the things that I'm taking a lot of these, like our strategy here is that we're taking a lot of our rewards from these really super inflationary tokens and going into like Bitcoin and even Litecoin, and that kind of thing. So just stacking taking the inflationary and going into the deflationary, just kind of as a hedge kind of thing. Even going into like dollar pairings on, providing liquidity on some of these DeFi markets. That way we're earning some yield on it as well. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of an overall look right now at that. Let's see what the Bitcoin hash rate is currently actually been taking a bit of a dip. And you can see what the difficulty level made a little bit of a slight adjustment down. So, you're going to see, though, that with these pumps, that the difficulty level will probably jump up in the next few days. It kind of follows the markets a little bit on that level. But what happens is if the hash rate drops, though, and it stays down, the difficulty will adjust every 2 weeks. So it will adjust down to where it's a good range for the miners to be able to work the calculations. That's essentially kind of broken down definition. So the difficulty does adjust with the amount of hash rate that's going on. All right, so let's actually take a look now. A little bit of spotlight on Hive. So we've got Hive right now. It's we saw $1. Let's actually refresh. It was $1.14. So now, $1.14. It might refresh $1.16. So we got a market cap of around $421,586,000. A circulating supply of 371,261,454 hive are existing out there right now. It does have an infinite supply, so it's one of those inflationary tokens, but the way that it works, though, it actually does have some deflationary aspects to it. So Hive is a graphene-based social blockchain. We are a fork of the Steam blockchain. So it launched 2 years ago last week, actually. It was 3/20/2020, basically right around the same time the world was shutting down too. Hive was born, and we have been building up a flipping storm over there. So there's so many things going on Hive right now. So the core idea of it is actual decentralization. So Hive's prime selling points are its decentralization, speed, and scalability. So other notable features include it having the lowest barrier of entry for user adoption in the market, time delay security, integrated token allocation, and the upcoming smart media token integration, which actually is kind of getting adopted more on the second layers. So we have something called Hive Engine, which is where like a lot of the tokens that I've created with Hive List and with the Hive Hustlers communities and Weed Cash and stuff like that, that's all based on a second layer token structure. I actually run a witness node I actually run two. I run the Logical Dude witness, which is currently number 9, and then in consensus, and then I've got the Hive List witness, which is like number 31 right now. So it needs more votes behind that. But yeah, so anyway, so it's a delegated proof of stake system, basically. So what it is you have a witness structure of 20 witnesses, and then it rotates a backup witness. So there's 21 witnesses that sign each block. So it's 20 of the top ones that have the most voting power behind it. And then the other witnesses just kind of get rotated through that, and if you're higher up the list, you get rotated into it more than if you're lower down the list. So it can become a bit of a political kind of situation. You vote for the witnesses that you feel like are doing the most for the blockchain and that kind of thing. Similar to like what the Cosmos Spaces does. So the Cosmos Space blockchains, a lot of them will have like 100 or 125 validators. I've seen them as low as like 75 or something like that. So Hives is a little bit different. It does place it within just the 20. But, again, that's where the active community comes into play. In one of the last hard forks, it brought in a feature called Vote Decay, which is going to be taking effect here actually within a couple of months, I think. So what happens is that a lot of the original 20 witnesses that came over are still the top 20 witnesses. Well, what could happen is that could actually the vote decay removes a lot of the votes. If you have not been actively voting within the past year, it will actually remove your votes and make you re-vote. So what that is going to do is going to basically reset the witness structure on Hive, which is going to get really interesting to see what happens. So I'm sure a lot of the core devs will stay high up there and that kind of thing. But for some of the other witnesses, I'm going to be interested to see who remains in the top and who doesn't, kind of thing. So based on just like inactive accounts that may just have a lot of voting power that's just sitting there and hasn't really been doing anything, because there are a lot of just more or less, investor accounts versus active, community members and stuff like that. So, but Hive is a community. That's the prime thing behind Hive. And what makes it different among any other blockchain out there is that it's not a blockchain that has a community built around it. It is a blockchain built around community. So it is all about community. It is a social blockchain. You can go to hive.blog and go in there and write blog posts. There's all these different front ends that you can go and visit. There's peaked.com, which is one of the main front ends. It gives you all your wallet stuff. You can go back and forth between your Hive and your Hive Engine tokens on there. And you have different communities that you can create. You can have different communities that you can join and see different, you can basically find a community for any interest that you're involved in. Finally kind of getting my daughter interested in a lot of things with the movie reviews. There's a cine.blog or cinetv.blog, which is a movie review community. So, which is really cool. I've got an e-commerce community, kind of like a Craigslist on the blockchain with a Hive list. And then there's a Hive Hustlers community, which is all about entrepreneurship. And then on Wednesday, like I said, we've got the interview with John Olson from the CTP Talk community. That community, Click Track Profit, is all about affiliate marketing, email marketing, and that kind of thing. So they're doing a lot of work to revolutionize that industry and bring it onto the blockchain. So we've got so much going on with Hive. We've got Splinterlands, which is it bounces around as one of the top blockchain apps in the world. Not just a game, but one of the top D apps in the world. So that's all built on Hive. So Hive has got a lot of amazing stuff. I really feel like it's under the radar. We don't have a lot of big names behind it. There's not venture capitalists behind it. It's truly decentralized. So that's why we kind of have a hard time pushing into the top 100. And that's just for the simple fact that a lot of these centralized exchanges and that kind of thing don't like dealing with truly decentralized projects. Truly decentralized projects get kind of pushed to the side because they have a hard time pushing their way in and throwing their weight around kind of thing in a community like Hive. The Hive is all about censorship resistance. That's what we've got going on with ThreeSpeak. So ThreeSpeak is a video platform. So unlike YouTube, where YouTube censors things, ThreeSpeak does not do that. So we're going to be talking with one of the founders of ThreeSpeak, on Friday in a Twitter Spaces. We're going to have a giveaway that we're going to have going on, giving away 2,000 Larynx miners, which is their new miner token on their Speak network, which is a second layer on the Hive blockchain. We're going to be talking to them about that. Like I said, I'm going to be having a giveaway going on. I'm going to go follow CoinLogic Online on Twitter for the giveaway stuff, because I'm going to be posting that a little later on. Really super excited about everything that we've got coming up. But Hive is just huge. It's got so much potential and so much going on. Your username for the blockchain is also your wallet address. So it makes it really easy to be able to, make sure that you're sending money to the right person. It's, not having to deal with these convoluted addresses and stuff. It is more, that does make it a little more public. So if you want to be anonymous, then pick an anonymous name and, work it that way, So, but there's so much potential going on Hive. It's not even funny. I love being a part of this blockchain. And it basically works on a proof of brain concept. So so the way that you earn, unless you're running a node or something like that, is that you come in and you don't have to invest. You come in and you just create. So you come in and create content, or you come in and just engage with the community. That's one of the biggest ways, is that you can come in and earn just by coming and engaging in the community, coming and commenting and liking and sharing other people's posts and that kind of thing. So you can learn how to write yourself from there, so you can, learn kind of where you want to get started and that kind of thing. So there's a ton of potential here on Hive. It's an amazing place to be. So that is what we are focusing on this week. So I hope you guys come and enjoy this journey with us here. So make sure to come follow us on the Hive blockchain at coinlogic.online. And then again, you can follow us on CoinLogic Online on Twitter, which actually a lot of our posts get filtered through a site called dBuzz, which is built on the Hive blockchain. So we post some of our stuff that goes on Twitter on dBuzz first, and then it gets sent to Twitter from there. So that's one way that you can do it. But we even have a decentralized version of Twitter. So come and check it out. Come and get your account. You can go to hive.io, take an overall look on the blockchain, go into the developer stuff if you want to go into that, and then go and sign up for your account there. So currently, though, as we saw, Hive is currently at $1.14. Now, one thing about Hive that we also have is an algorithmically driven stablecoin called Hive-backed dollars. So Hive-backed dollars is backed by Hive, and there's a conversion mechanism that actually helps do that. There's a couple other like mechanisms that I'm actually not really off the head able to explain, but it is actually one of the first algorithmically driven stablecoins when, coming from Steam backed dollars over into Hive backed dollars. So it'll fluctuate, a little bit here and there, up and down. It's not exactly pegged to $1, so you have to take that into account. But you can not really stake it. You're just putting it into a savings wallet for 3 days, so it has a 3-day lockup period. But you can earn 12% interest on your Hive-backed dollars. Just right there, layer 1 protocol level on Hive. No like second layer DeFi on top of that. It's just right there built into your wallet. 12% earnings. So yeah, we've even got talks of starting to do like Hive-backed dollar bonds and things like that to where you can earn more interest and you can lock it up for a longer time. So there's some talks about things in the future of increasing the usage of that stable coin as well. So come and check out everything that we've got going on in Hive. It's an amazing place for you to get involved with a great global community of people, and that's what it's really all about. So, and now we are back for our macro moment here on CoinLogic TV, brought to you by Comdex. Comdex.one, they are democratizing global finance markets for all, basically bringing things like synthetic commodities to the blockchain. So they are getting ready to launch their exchange. Hopefully I'm going to be getting access to the interface so that I can do like a demo for you guys and that kind of thing. But I got to sit in on a town hall meeting, which was great. So I got to see some cool things. They even have their own stable coin that they're getting ready to release. But basically what you're going to be able to do is lock up assets and mint these C assets. So essentially like gold, silver, oil futures, that kind of thing. So it gives you access to trading commodities that normally you wouldn't be able to get access to trade. Now, that also includes without having to take ownership of those commodities. That's a big thing too. So if you're trading like the CME, but you got to be a big firm for that, you're going to have to take ownership of these barrels of oil that you're buying. But with Comdex, you're just buying a token that's representing the price of that asset. So we're really excited about showcasing their exchange here coming up, but they do sponsor this macro segment here by delegating to our Carbon Zero node. With our partners, actually getting ready to do a brand changeover from Infinity to Carbon Zero. So that's what we've got going on. So let's take a look at the little macro look we got going on. We got our S&P is been back up over the last week or so. It is only up 0.3% for the day, but you can kind of see the major indices are following along nicely. They are starting to kind of level off here, so maybe they're all trying to find some support, and hopefully equities can kind of keep going. It just depends on what the Federal Reserve is going to be doing as far as interest rates and that kind of thing. So that's all still kind of up in the air, and that may be part of some of this resistance that we're finding. So we're taking a look at some of these foreign markets. They've been leveling off a bit, still tracking down, just had a bit of a recovery. Hopefully this isn't just like a continuation downwards. You can see like in the U.S. indices, it is starting to kind of come back up to this bit of a resistance level here. And we do have a little bit of a kind of a sloping downtrend kind of coming. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. There's still a lot of global tension that's going on. Crypto, it's kind of not stopping right now. So people are starting to see that crypto may be a way out of this traditional financial system. But, you got a lot of big money that's still betting on these companies and that kind of thing. So we can come down here, take a look at your macro charts. We've got our M2 money stock has been, it kind of follows the indices because it's basically made up of all of them after they went in and bought, all these junk bonds and everything during the crash. We come down here, the one thing that I like to take a look at here is the mortgage rate. So this is the base rate that people are able to come in and get mortgages at. Now, you have to be big money to be able to get and have an amazing credit score to be able to get these numbers here. Most average people are not able to get this 4.42%. Now, this is a lot higher and it's going up from where it was, You can see like back in the pandemic and stuff like that, it was definitely a lot lower. And that's where BlackRock was coming in and scooping up all these houses because they could get that money for really cheap or just straight up pay cash for it. But now that interest rate is definitely jumping up. So it's a little scary times. You know, nobody really quite knows what the Fed is going to do, but if you want to get the word from the horse's mouth, you can come down here because we do have the Federal Reserve Board RSS feed coming in here, so you can come and take a look at that if you are interested in following what's going on with the grand scheme of the Federal Reserve. I'm looking for a really good news source to bring in for just overall economy that's kind of not skewed and not jaded and bought by corporate interests. So if you know of a really good kind of non-biased news source that we could bring in for, you know, kind of the overall markets, let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to know what would be the best place to go and try to get the feed for. But anyway, that's kind of the overall look of the markets for this Monday. So crypto's up. Equities are kind of, you know, teetering a little bit, you know, looking at some weakness right now with the global tensions that are still going on. But my bet currently right now is all in the crypto markets. So that's kind of where, you know, a lot of the innovation is going. Governments are fighting it. They're going to continue to fight it. We're at that stage. You know, at first we were, you know, at first it's like they say, you know, first they laugh at you. Or no, first they ignore you. Then they laugh at you. Like at first it's like you're not even on their radar. Then they start laughing at you. Well, then they say, you know, start seeing that you're a threat. And then they're going to fight you. And that's where we're at now. Then the last step is we're going to win. That's what's up. So just make sure that you're keeping your long-term visions here. So we're not here just for all number go up, which is always a good thing, but we're here for the financial freedom. And that's what crypto brings us, is freedom. And from that traditional system, we can break free from that. So if you have your private keys, they can't take your money from you. So get your money off exchanges into your own custodial wallets, preferably something like, you know, a cold storage wallet, you know, if you're just storing coins and that kind of thing. You know, hot wallets, you know, with secure private keys. Make sure you're using VPNs, good passwords, all that kind of good stuff. Take your security seriously. If you're taking the responsibility to be your own bank, you got to make sure that you're taking your security seriously because nobody's looking out for you except for yourself. But that's what being self-sovereign is all about. That's what being, you know, self-sovereign individual is all about. So, anyway, that's it for today. You guys have a great rest of your Monday. Be cool, be real, always abide, and don't forget to check out Wednesday's interview with John Olson, and come and check us out and set your reminders for our Twitter Spaces with 3speak.tv. That's going to be exciting. We got a giveaway that we're doing. I'm going to be launching that later on. Go follow us on all the socials. Give us a like. Follow, subscribe on YouTube, all that kind of good stuff. You guys have a great day.